Welcome to another edition of Chops and Pops. Of all the sights and sounds to be seen and heard, you are here with us. Thank you so much for listening here on our YouTube channel. I am Andy.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Shane.
Today, we are going to talk about Ring of Honor Best in the World review, TNA attempting to sign Rey Mysterio Jr., and Tough Enough premieres on the WWE Network. Gentlemen, let's get to it.
Okay, let's go with the ROH pay-per-view first.
Yeah, and actually that was something I was looking forward to because we always do the pay-per-view reviews whenever WWE has a pay-per-view, and whenever we do regular episodes, we try to like squeeze in the indie stuff.
Right.
And Ring of Honor had a very important pay-per-view this past week, so I'm kind of excited that we actually get to veer off of the WWE path for once. I know you guys didn't really get to see it, but I know you're a little bit aware of the roster and the card and everything. So yeah, we can talk about it a little bit. Ring of Honor had the Best in the World pay-per-view in New York City at Terminal 5 this past Friday night. Friday's kind of a weird day to have a pay-per-view, but it worked, and there was a good turnout. I heard from some people that went to the event and who have been to Terminal 5 for wrestling events before, that if you don't get on the railing of like those balcony seatings, you can't see crap.
Really?
Like you need to get by the rail or you're just not going to have a good time. But yeah, it was a great pay-per-view. I watched it. The main event was what everyone was looking forward to, was the Jay Briscoe, Jay Lethal match.
I'm still looking forward to it.
It was very, very good. Adding to the drama, both wrestlers had their parents in the audience.
Really?
Papa Briscoe was there. Papa Briscoe and Mama Briscoe.
Nice.
As well as Jay Lethal's parents, which interestingly, you guys probably don't know this, but Jay Lethal's parents have played a part in Ring of Honor before.
No.
With Kevin Owens. When
Really?
Kevin Owens was Kevin Steen back in Ring of Honor, he spit in their face
Wow.
to start a feud with Jay Lethal, and Jay Lethal flipped and started a great world title feud back then.
Well.
Yeah, but Jay Lethal's been on a roll for 2 years straight now without getting pinned, while also being television champion. It was a champion versus champion match. Just to give you a heads up, if you're listening and you haven't seen it yet and you don't want spoilers, I'm obviously going to talk about who won. So skip if you don't want to hear it. But Jay Lethal is the new world champion.
Boo.
As well as television champion.
Wow.
And he earned it. Not only with that storyline of being undefeated for so long,
Right.
but it was a fantastic match. There was a spot off the apron through a table, which, Andrew, you might be aware, Andy, you might not, of what a J Driller is. Jay Briscoe's move?
Jay Driller.
J Driller is basically a pedigree turned into a pile driver.
Oh.
And he did it off the apron through a table, and it was crazy. And even the go-home sequence of the end of the match was basically Lethal using Briscoe's move of the J Driller, where Briscoe reversed out of it, where Lethal countered that again and hit him with the J Driller in the center of the ring and won the match. But the storytelling was there, the drama of the parents being in the audience added to it, the build-up of basically 2 years of this feud was there.
Yeah.
And it was worth every penny to watch that match.
Was that match, I know it was a title match, but was it a match without honor?
No.
So this was just a regular title match.
Regular title match. Even the storytelling in the match itself was really great because obviously Jay Lethal has Truth Martini as his manager. And the House of Truth consists of a couple members. I can only remember really... what's his name? I think it was Donovan Dijak is one of the other members. And right in the first minute of the match, they're pacing themselves and really taking their time. And Dijak goes to grab Briscoe's leg when they're running the ropes, and immediately the ref sends him to the back.
Nice.
There was another spot, Martini gets sent to the back. So Lethal really won it all on his own. It was a clean finish, and as much as he's playing a heel right now, he really beat Jay Briscoe cleanly.
Yeah.
And it was just a fantastic match and definitely a candidate for Match of the Year contender.
What else stands out on the card?
The six-man tag match, which was between 3 members of the Bullet Club, AJ Styles along with the Young Bucks.
Right,
Against Adam Cole, Michael Bennett, and Matt Taven, who make up the Kingdom, who have Maria Kanellis. Remember Maria? From the WWE?
Yes.
Yeah. Maria also was in Playboy. Could be another way you could remember. Also a CM Punk ex.
One of the many.
Yeah, she took a triple super kick
Wow.
from AJ Styles and the Young Bucks, and it was amazing.
Ooh.
And as I told you before we started taping, I believe there was at least 20 suckets from the Young Bucks throughout the match. Comedically hilarious. The opening match was great with Mark Briscoe, but overall, just a really great pay-per-view. And the other great thing to take away from this was they made the announcement that even though we had the treat of New Japan coming to America for
Right.
War of the Worlds and Global Wars,
Yeah.
they are coming back in August.
Oh.
But it's not going to be the entire roster. It's just going to basically be the cream of the crop. It's Shinsuke Nakamura, Kazuchika Okada, and Kushida. The three of them are coming back for 2 shows in August. That's going to be in Philly and New York City on SummerSlam weekend.
Yeah.
So Ring of Honor killing it right now. And I love Best in the World. I don't know if everyone else did, but I think everybody would probably say that Briscoe Lethal match is worth your time.
Yes. Okay.
Very nice.
I got to get on that. I have to
Yeah,
see that.
definitely check it out.
So, one of our other topics was TNA attempting to sign Rey Mysterio Jr. Huh.
How do you feel about that?
How? This would very much change the landscape a bit.
I read that they were planning on promising him like top tier right against Kurt Angle, like he's going to be that guy that they've been waiting for. They're going to play
Obviously.
him up beyond all. But come on, it's Rey
Well, here's the
Mysterio.
thing. You say Kurt Angle because he's world champion, but everyone's assuming that Ethan Carter is going to take the world title.
Yeah.
And that's something that even before they teased Mysterio coming to Impact Wrestling, because TNA's been working with AAA lately, the Mexican promotion, that how great it would be if Ethan Carter had a feud with Rey Mysterio. See, that makes me more interested than the idea of like Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, circa SmackDown 2006. You know?
Yeah. This week was just another week where I tuned into TNA and I tried, Shane. I tried, Andy.
No,
I
agree with
tried
you.
so hard.
I fully agree.
I love EC3. He is so entertaining, but they screw it so badly up. It makes me literally just turn the channel to like I could tune it to HGTV and I'd be rather watching something on it. I can't take the way that they put these matches together. It is not logical, and then they go backstage and it doesn't make sense, and they did the commentary and
You're absolutely right. And we already covered the Wednesday Night Wars the first week that it happened.
Yes,
and
yes.
I didn't want to make this fully about the WWE because I wanted to talk about other shows, but I also didn't want to run through every episode that aired on Wednesday night. But I totally agree with you. At least that first week, there was the saving grace of that amazing Kurt Angle-Austin Aries match. This past week's episode of Impact Wrestling sucked.
Yeah.
It was terrible. And it's the type of stuff that, like, no matter how much of an apologist you are, you can't even make it through the whole episode.
Can't defend it.
You can't.
As much as I love the Wolves, and they still have it. They
But
still
even
have it.
they do. But you know what? Eddie Edwards could never really cut a promo.
No.
The guy's an amazing wrestler. I have all the respect in the world for him, but he was never a great talker. Davey Richards at least could handle talking sometimes. That promo on Wednesday was killing me because Davey, oh my God. Like, I get that he's not an obsessive, like, wrestling fan. He works in first aid and he has a job outside the wrestling business, so he just shows up to work, But Davey's promos, oh my God. He talks like this. And if you're gonna face the Wolves, then you are making a big mistake. And it's like, dude, nobody talks like that in
He's
real
like
life.
that kid from Malcolm in the Middle on Speed. The one that can't talk while he's breathing in.
Like, I get being dramatic sometimes, but when you're Davey Richards, you don't mess with the Wolves.
Yeah, needless to say.
That's terrible.
If they go through with this Rey Mysterio thing, I don't know how he could bring himself to signing with them out of some type of desperation, but it would definitely be killer for them.
Well, Andy, how do you feel about the idea of whether it would actually happen or the idea of the interest of Lucha Underground, or just like, do you think it will really happen? And if it did happen, what do you think of Rey Mysterio being in TNA?
God, I just watched this Behind the Ring special on Rey Mysterio on the WWE, and God, his knees are just so beat up right now. and he is so beat up. Following what happened earlier in the year with, Aparo Aguayo Jr., I mean, there's, I don't know if, and especially with his past history with the WWE, and they kind of left on bad terms and everything. So I feel like it probably would do good for the business, and I think it would be good to probably get the Lucha Underground to tie in with TNA, just to kind of like...
See, but I see TNA doing business with AAA. I don't think they would do business with Lucha Underground.
They should do it with Lucha, because Robert Rodriguez is a genius.
Well, no, Lucha Underground is amazing. And that's the thing. Like, I didn't want to break down every episode that was on Wednesday night, but Lucha Underground's an amazing show.
I saw one episode, and I'm like, I like this.
Yeah.
I don't speak Spanish, but I like this.
Well, it's in English with Matt Stryker. But, I mean, like, the idea of Rey Mysterio... here's what I'm trying to get us all to agree on. Do we all agree on the fact that if Rey Mysterio went to Lucha Underground, it would be amazing?
Yes.
And it could be entertaining.
Oh,
if he goes to TNA and this becomes a reality, what would your opinion be?
Of Mysterio or the company?
In the
Mysterio
TNA,
and TNA
universe.
Like,
do you get excited about the potential of an Ethan Carter feud? Do you think they're just going to screw it up completely like
They're
they
gonna
do
screw
most
it
of
up.
the time?
They're going to screw it up.
At this point, you have to not take it with a grain of salt, but you have to have a whole salt thing before you even...
It's called a salt lick.
Yeah, you need to have that whole lick of salt ready before you even consider these possible storylines that this company has. Because I've gone into their shows hoping for EC3 to save my view of them, and he definitely can. But you have to suffer through the hammer to the head of the rest of the show.
So we all agree that their show basically sucks with one good match every once in a while. And they've already proven over the course of basically 13 years that not one star can save that company on his own. But Rey Mysterio and Ethan Carter could be entertaining for what it would be.
To answer your question, I would be excited. Yeah, I would be.
I would watch it on YouTube. I wouldn't watch it on Destination America, not only because I don't have cable, but because I would have to sit through the rest of that stuff too. Sorry, Dixie. I'm
fair.
sorry.
I don't think we need to apologize.
We're not apologists here at Chops and Pops.
Heck no.
So, our final main topic, Tough Enough premiering on the WWE Network. Are these the new faces? Or rather, is there a new face there in that group?
Am I the only one that was bothered by... that is bothered by the guys being giants and the women being models?
They're so big. All of them are just these hulking monsters of human beings.
You think so? Because there was only actually two guys that stood out to me, especially for being a bigger size.
They just all look so big, and and they look strong. Like, none of them kind of have like an atypical body type. Like, they're all the type of body that like Vince McMahon would have chosen.
Exactly.
You know?
Who are your favorites? Even if you don't remember names, just descriptions.
The young African American gentleman. I don't remember his name.
Oh, the skinnier guy?
Yeah.
Okay, because he's
my
the
favorite.
WWE fan.
He's
Okay.
my favorite because I think there's a lot of potential in him being that young, and I think I don't know. I like him, and for the women, I want to see the Jersey Devil only because I like the name, and I think that's awesome. And I hope that her MMA background puts some interesting spins into her like moveset. I think that'd be interesting. Like a lot more like arm bars and like kicks to the face.
See, sometimes MMA people have trouble making that transition just because they're so used to,
Actually hitting people in the
yeah,
face.
yeah, and just like not giving to their opponent,
Right.
that you have to kind of. It's wrestling is more of a give and take.
Right.
What about you, Andrew?
I don't have a favorite. I just wanted... I saw this video online some guy made, and he took the intro that Triple H had during This Tough Enough when he was congratulating them and telling them what it's going to be about, and he took the one that he did for the first Tough Enough during the Attitude Era, and he split it perfectly to where you could compare what Triple H said then to what he says now.
Is it the exact same thing?
No, it's the exact opposite.
Oh.
Back then he was saying, you got a family, you're not going to see them. You got a wife, at home. Be prepared to go a year without seeing her. And this year's Tough Enough. It was more him going, "Congratulations, you guys you're all winners in my book. Everything's A-okay." And I mean, I understand that he's now in a position of business power within the company, and back then everything was a lot more edgy altogether. But you gotta really
You know what that
press
sounds
it.
like to me? That sounds like he's going from being like your dad in the Attitude Era, like, son, you have to mow the lawn, you have responsibilities, to now it's like he's like the cool uncle, like, come on, kid, let's go smoke a cigarette in the back.
Yeah,
No, it's fine.
that makes
You're
sense.
a winner, buddy.
Yeah.
Good job.
And I'm also looking at it because I've been a big fan in the past of The Ultimate Fighter, and I can now see, putting it through in my head, the difference between the two type of reality shows where Tough Enough was more diverse. And what my first point was that, every guy seems to be huge, every woman seems to look like a supermodel.
Mm-hmm.
But, originally in the first Tough Enough, it seemed like a lot more diverse, and that's what I appreciated more about it, because it's like, well, is this type of guy going to win, or is this type of girl going to win? I don't think we're going to get that this time around, because it seems like we know what we're going to get before it starts. So
Is this big guy going to win with the long
Yeah.
hair, or is this big guy with the short hair going to win?
Yeah.
Or is it the big guy that's big but not really, not physically big, but he's just a big guy? Like, what was he, the guy that wrestled alligators?
What
Yes.
do you guys think of him?
What was his name?
Oh, I can't remember.
I
right
don't
now.
know.
He's going to be
I don't think
I'm
I
gonna
could
refer
really
to him as Crocodile Dundee.
Okay. All right.
And
You won't be alone.
So
God,
what do you think of Steve Irwin?
yeah. Oh, it's too soon. I love Steve Irwin. But
He's going to go far.
I hate him. I hate him so hard.
Mm.
If you can't cut it physically, get out of the ring. That was the one reason why I started booing Batista when he came back, was because he looked tired after 3 minutes.
Gassed.
And that's not okay.
Endurance is everything.
It's everything.
Fighting.
But personality too, and that's why I think
seems
the Gator guy
interesting.
made it through. You know,
Yeah.
I have to say, for the men, the two that stood out to me was the Yeti guy. Remember him?
Yeti.
He made like the Chewbacca noise or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He is only 24 years old,
Oh, wow.
and he is friggin' huge. Like, and he just played for the Green Bay Packers, I think it was. He said.
Oh, wow.
He's somebody who's young, impressionable. They can mold him into what he needs to be. His size is there. He was one of the bigger guys. He had a good look. The other one that stood out to me was the guy with the blonde mohawk. The
Okay.
guy who had seen, like, beheadings.
Mhm.
Because for all the, and granted there was the other guy who only had one leg, like, there's a difference between saying how tough you are and the idea of, like, man, if you've seen a head get cut off a body, I think you can handle the politics of the locker room.
Yeah.
So those two guys stood out to me. As far as the women go, nobody really impressed me that much. The Brazilian chick, kind of, but
Was that the one that got called back? After?
yeah, she was cut first and then got brought back in.
She had some very large shoulders. She had very, square shoulders. Like, less supermodel-y, like the one blonde chick that was kind of like...
The
looked
one
like
blonde
Alexa Bliss.
Well, the one blonde girl looked just like Anne Hathaway. Like, identical to Anne Hathaway, just with blonde hair. The other interesting thing, though, I think I already said it to you off the air.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you noticed, Andrew. There was a new trainer at the Performance Center. Did you catch who it was? And our listeners probably didn't even catch who it was.
Lay it on me.
Oksana.
Oksana.
Oksana
Training?
dyed her hair blonde, and you catch her a couple times during that Tough Enough episode that she is one of the trainers there now. So when they announced that she was fired, I guess either she was fired and brought back, or when she was fired, she was just fired from the roster, and now is a personal trainer.
Good
at the
for her.
Performance Center.
How
Good.
about
I don't
that?
know. She almost blinded Naomi. I don't know if she should really be teaching rookies, but
Maybe
It is
she's
what it
better as a
is.
teacher. Those who can't play coach. She can't play, but maybe she knows enough. But maybe she knows it in the head, but her body just won't do it.
Let's
could
hope.
be.
So she could just be like, "You do this and this. Oh, good, you did it right. Congrats. High five."
Could be.
I don't know. Is that how training works? I don't. I've never had to coach anybody, so I don't know.
We're going to go with that. That's it. Has to be.
Well, Oksana is not American,
She is not.
but you are, Andy.
I am so very American. So American.
How American are you?
Let's see. Donald Trump. The boss. The billionaire with the hair. The guy. The Trumpster. I stayed at his hotel this past weekend, and he is a father himself, so happy Father Day to you, Mr. Trump. Oh, and a huge congrats on your bid to run for president. As a Hall of Fame member for WWE, I wish him luck, but this guy has shot himself in the foot already. Hopefully his political discourse gets better as his campaign progresses. I mean, did you see him? He was announced and he came down in an escalator. Oh my god. Everything else that can be said that was funny about that, Jon Stewart has probably already said and said it better than me. So check him out too. Anyway, happy Father's Day and have a good one and eat some pudding.
I'm not 100% sure if Jon Stewart said something about it, but did you hear about his audience?
No.
He hired them. They were all actors.
Donald
No.
Trump?
Yeah, it's been proven. They were hired.
Man.
They got paid. I think it was $50 to go
Dude.
there with signs.
Dude, I would. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I would have done that. That was such a funny speech to watch. Such a great
What did he
speech.
say about Mexico? That all you send us are rapists
Yeah.
and murderers, but some of you might be okay. Like, what? You can't say that.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
Oh.
we don't want our president speaking
And
like
what
that.
did he say? The presidents have been losers.
Yes.
Like, they're losers. Oh, man, this is going to be great.
I did like the part where he goes, we spent $5 billion on Obamacare for a website. I pay a guy $3. I got a website.
He has no shot whatsoever, but
No.
it's going to be entertaining. To watch.
Do you remember in the 90s Ross Perot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember
Absolutely.
all that?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Ross Perot. I got $1 billion. That's what I think's going to happen, and I'm so excited.
He might outdo Ross Perot
I hope.
comedically, though.
I hope so. That was my favorite. That was one of my favorite parts of all that. Actually, growing up, was the Ross Perot jokes. I almost wish all that was still around.
And I share your belief, too, that the one exciting thing about Trump running is he could be the first WWE Hall of Famer. He'll beat Jesse Ventura in the race to get to the White House.
Yeah. Well, Jesse Ventura is kind of crazy. Like, whereas Donald.
And Trump isn't?
Well, Donald Trump is crazy, and he's just kind of like an old, like semi-racist kind of guy. Where Jesse Ventura was like conspiracy guy, like jet fuel can't melt steel beams kind of person.
He'd
And
fit
that's
right in.
Crazy.
Trump will buy those beams for half price.
What are you doing? You fired.
That was I can't do impressions. I can't do accents.
No, it's good. It's fine.
That was soft.
That was better than what
that
I
was
was gonna do.
Should we
Speaking of Donald Trump.
yeah.
Speaking of trumping things,
I
There it
was
is.
trying to think of some sort of transition to Chops of the
And-
Week.
to trump cards being a positive thing, this is our trash card. This is the chopping block. This is the chops of the week.
You
Ooh.
chopped.
Ugh,
You chopped.
that was rough.
See, that's not bad.
That's
I've heard much worse. I've heard much worse. So who would like to put their topic on the chopping block?
Well, I'm definitely the guy to do this. I don't know why I said that. But I have one thing that bugged me this week
Mm-hmm.
of the wrestling matches that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And it came on ROH. Both my chop and my pop come from ROH this week. The chop was when my man Moose was in a match where he was given every opportunity to win in a great match, decided not to use an outside weapon that was handed to him. I can't remember by who, what his...
Veda Scott.
Veda Scott. Veda Scott is his...
Roderick Strong's real life girlfriend. Fun fact.
Oh,
Wow.
well, an FYI right there. But yes, she was trying to hand him a wrench or something like that. He decided not to, and then he subsequently got hit with that same wrench and lost the match. But that's not my chop. My chop is that he lost. Like they were really playing up his streak and his.
The streak was broken.
Yeah, but why would they do it prior to like a good pay-per-view where he could platform it and work it? Am I the only one missing something?
No, that's fair. I feel like the turn had to happen where he breaks away from Veda Scott, and now he's kind of being replaced, I guess you could say, by Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
You know who Cedric Alexander is, Andy. That was who faced Jay Lethal in Toronto. The best match of the night.
Oh, the guy that replaced the one guy?
He was the guy who kicked that girl in the face.
Yeah, that was awesome. Oh, that was great. What a match.
You know what? That was the
great.
best match of the night.
I think
easily.
our fans are going to take that out of context, though.
Well, we went to Toronto at the Ted Reeve Arena now, the Maple Leaf Gardens, and it was All Star Extravaganza was the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and it was during Jay Lethal's long run as television champion, and he fought Cedric Alexander. The climax of the match was kicking a girl in the face. It wasn't Veda Scott. It was one of the other chicks.
Oh, man, right in the face.
Right in the face.
Oh.
Right in the face, huh? A boot?
It was hard.
She got kicked
Yeah.
in the face.
But Cedric Alexander now is going to align himself with Veda Scott. And so Moose, that was all his turn. But I totally agree with you in that they could, because they did have the turn still happen at the pay-per-view where Veda Scott still came out with Moose and he's still breaking away from her. So I get what you're saying, that they shouldn't have really done it at the TV taping. They could have saved it for Best in the World.
Don't give it away for free.
He came out in a football helmet. With shoulder pads at Best in the World.
Oh,
with cheerleaders. It was great.
As he should.
He's so great.
As he should.
But that was my chop, so yeah.
Choppin'. So, my chop may seem strange, but to me, I don't get it. All this new information about Finn Balor and all of this, like, big push and all these new promos. Like, I get it. I know who Finn Balor is. Why didn't this happen months ago when he was arriving? This would have been great information back then. Now it kind of feels like it's like, no, you need to know everything there is to know about this guy because in like 2 weeks we're going to give him the title. So you need to know everything about Finn Balor right now.
I see what you mean.
And it makes me angry because I like him a lot. And now, I mean, it's cool learning his history up to this point and how like seeing Becky Lynch cry a little bit was actually kind of wonderful.
I was just going to
mention
mention
that. But not like I like seeing her cry, but kind of like it was like a good emotional moment.
You're not a terrible person.
No.
Well, you did cheer on a woman getting kicked in the face.
It was so great. Like, you had to be there. It was like this moment of just...
It did kind of like happen in slow motion. Like Cedric just like flew through the air and then he just...
Right in the face. Just
right in the face. Ooh! But the Finn Balor thing, it makes me angry. It just grinds my gears for some reason. I think this is a poor move because I know they did something similar to this for Adrian Neville when he was champion for a while. They did like a backstory, like he went back home and like he visited like places. He's like, oh, this is the football club that I wanted to play if I didn't make it as a wrestler. This is something I cared about. And like you meet his mom and like you go to a small town, and that's cool. And that was like good because that was later on. You already had seen him wrestle and you kind of like learned a little bit more information. So it was like, oh, cool. You know, you're broadening, like you're peeling back the label and you're seeing more of the person.
Yeah,
character development.
Yeah, and I feel like it's almost too soon, but too late at the same time. Because some of this could have been played beforehand, like that awesome promo where it's him in a suit, and then it keeps flashing between the demon version and him. That is cool, and like the way it makes it seem, it's like Finn Balor arrives Tokyo, Japan. It's like, well, he's been here. Yeah, it's not like he's arriving. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not playing a vignette for a guy who's never wrestled before.
Yeah,
it's just he's gonna be headlining.
Yeah.
But would you rather they didn't do any of those types of promos at all for him, and that they just kind of took him from where he is now and put him where he's going to be in like a way that if he was on the main roster it would be?
I think I
If you understand what I'm trying to
would
say.
have loved
what
to see.
I think what you're saying is like, what do you think the build-up should have been for Finn Balor, if not that?
Well,
I think they should have done a little bit of what this story, this two-part story is. They should have done a little bit of it when he came in, kind of like a quick recap of it, kind of like this is what he's been through to get to this point, and this is him stepping onto this stage of NXT. And then now that he's going up for a title shot, you can talk about some of his more hardships, like go back to some of his matches in Europe and some of his matches for NJPW and all those things, and that would be cool. I feel like that would really help, and how he's had great success in Tokyo, and how this place feels like home for him, because this is gonna feel great, because he's gonna go back to the place where he really got his big moments before, and now he's gonna get another big moment, and I feel like that would have been a better story arc.
So even though he's going back to Tokyo, you just think it was too little, too late.
I
Like
think
you would have rather been at the debut of his career in NXT as opposed to his big match leading up to Tokyo.
Like I feel like a little bit of it, like some of the stuff you didn't that wasn't revealed earlier on would have made a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
But I feel like it seems like they're like forcing him on us. Like we like him. The crowd likes him. You don't have to like shove it down our throats. We get it. Everyone loves him. Have you seen his entrance? My God.
Yeah.
I will say it was very trippy seeing clips of ICW on NXT,
Right?
the NXT TV. Like
That was
never,
strange.
I
They had his
never would have
farewell.
thought like WWE would show ICW. That was very weird.
That was pretty cool. I liked it.
I don't know. It's cool to see that the WWE is showing other venues, which might lead to other people checking out other promotions.
And supposedly, I'll get to a little bit later because it kind of has something to do with my false finish stuff. But I think they're actually working out a deal with Evolve now,
Oh yeah?
which is kind of crazy that they would even do business with an indie like that. But hey, everyone benefits, you know?
NXT is getting so big, they kind of almost have to start building up NXT to be its own like rival brand to Raw.
And they are, in a way.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like college sports to pro sports.
Yeah.
Just the heart's there, and you care for NXT.
What's your chop, Shane?
My chop, you know what? I'm actually glad that you guys said what you said, because I always worry when I think of chops and pops before I come here
That we're gonna have the same.
that
things.
we're all just
Yeah.
going to say the same thing. And we didn't. My chop of the week goes, you know what? I'm going to say it. I'm sorry. I'm going to use some foul language.
Good.
That son of a bitch, MGK. No selling
The
Kevin Owens powerbomb.
Oh god.
The fact that he got powerbombed off a stage, through a table, and then his crew, who didn't defend or protect him before it happened, run to him, and he gets up like 10, 20 seconds later and walks off.
Yeah.
And then if that wasn't bad enough that you're no-selling that powerbomb, seconds after it happened, he went on Twitter the very next morning, or even I think it was like that night, like hours after, and said like, "Oh, that's all you got, Kevin Owens? I'm tougher than that." It's like, dude, you're not a freaking wrestler,
You shouldn't.
and you're trying to make Owens look weak. Like, you can trash talk, that's fine, but if you're gonna no-sell it that hard and try and make it look like, what, a Kevin Owens powerbomb doesn't hurt, screw you. Never show up on Monday Night Raw ever again. You don't know how this business works, and you have no right to even be there in the first place. So my chop goes to MGK
What does
for
the
trying to be
MGK
tough.
stand for again?
Machine Gun Kelly.
I don't know.
Really?
To me, it stood for my God, Kevin. But yeah, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad enough that the whole thing, the whole styrofoam exploded when he made contact, that you couldn't tell. I mean, come on, MGK.
But see, like that, just that no selling. You get my chop hard, MGK. Like we do chops of the week because it's supposed to be like our cheers and jeers, you know. No, I really want to chop MGK right now, like as hard as possible.
I would love to see that.
Can I get some kung fu chops,
you
because
want some
he
kung fu?
definitely
We
We
can get
gotta-
some kung fu
we gotta
up
get
in
he
here.
some kung fu.
deserves
Here we go.
some chops.
You like that machine gun? You like that?
That's your face.
And
How's that taste?
even that's not hard enough. I just
It's not.
ooh. Let's do pops before I get too angry.
Some popping. From bad to good. How loud that is in my headphones. because it just really it makes me question my hearing every day, and I love it every time it happens. Goddamn. You know what's great? That's like a clip of like a live clip of like Canadians losing their shit, which is awesome. God bless the Canadians.
Canadian fans are pretty great. That Toronto show, the fans were there the whole show.
My one complaint about Toronto at that moment, their ices were crap. How are you going to give me... It was like a water ice. It wasn't even like an icy or a slushy. It was like a water ice. I started drinking it, and all of the flavoring was gone, and I was left with a chunk of ice. It was very upsetting.
So a second chop to Toronto's snack stand. Andrew, your pop of the week.
My pop of the week, like I said earlier, comes from ROH again, the TV taping that they did. And Shane, you remember when I was texting you during this match, this tag match that is now number 2, if not number 1 on my matches of the year so far, with ACH and Matt Sydal versus Naito and Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Naito. Tetsuya Naito.
And Hiroshi Tanahashi. And it was one of the most entertaining matches I've ever seen in my life. And they put this stuff on television, people. Watch it.
See, but this is them on a normal basis, and that wasn't even them on their A game. So, like, I appreciate that you saw that, but, like, if you watch Best in the World, I guarantee you'll probably like that 6-man tag in the main event even better.
Yeah.
If like that tag match is that high for you for matches of the year.
Oh.
And in terms of the work rate and you being so impressed by that, and that was your first time seeing Naito and Tanahashi, right?
Yes.
Dude, you watch New Japan. That was nothing.
I have to.
And I'll show you some of the best matches of the year so you don't have to like skim through and watch like a whole pay-per-view or whatever. I'll show you like the cream of the crop and like it's some good stuff. You know what? If I said who the top like 3 or even like top 5 guys in New Japan were, it wouldn't even be Naito and Tanahashi. And I think most listeners that at least enjoy New Japan, not the critics who say like, oh, it's strong style, it's crap. Like people who enjoy New Japan wouldn't even probably put Naito and Tanahashi in the top 5.
That's crazy to even consider.
Yeah. So
reason why I loved it so much, the moves that were thrown together. I am one of those fans of the WWE that is starting to doubt why they even have finishing moves, because I don't understand why everybody's kicking out of everything. You might as well just call them signature moves. It's okay, whatever. When was the last time somebody actually...
That's what they call them in the game.
Exactly. When was the last time somebody was actually finished off by a DDT off the ropes by Randy Orton, you know?
Like Austin and Heyman we're talking about. Like the headlocks.
Exactly. But ROH, they throw everything out there. I actually had a list of it in my other set of notes. I wrote down move after move of what I saw that I haven't seen in WWE in forever. Or if I do, it's one move per match. I'm talking moonsaults, pile drivers, which are illegal, the suicide dives, acai moonsaults out over the top rope. Everything was put together in this match, and the chemistry I'm not even going to get to because it was so great, but the moves alone, I'm a moves guy, and this one sold me completely.
New Japan is great, and I can definitely turn you on to it because, trust me, like if you saw a guy like Kota Ibushi, you would fall in love like with the stuff he can do. Shinsuke Nakamura is great. I think Okada's great. Shibata, if you like people just beating the crap out of another human being. Shibata, Ishii, like there's some great stuff in New Japan. But yeah, it was a good tag match.
Very nice. So, going off of this whole New Japan thing, my honorable mention goes to the Nakamura dance. That I was shown, that Shane showed me with the Tempura Kids. That was the craziest goddamn thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's kind of an older video, so most people who know about it, it's been out for a while. It's nothing new. But, yeah.
It's, I get, from what Shane told me, it was the Tempura Kids is a popular children's thing in Japan, and they made a dance based off of his facial expressions and mannerisms in the ring. And he was dancing with them, and it was out of control.
You know what? I worry so much about copyrights now for this podcast. I would love that to be our exit music for this episode. It doesn't have to be, but You know what? If you were more familiar with Nakamura and actually said, like, literally, that video was like 4 minutes long.
It was.
And I'm telling you, every move, like, you might think, like, oh, they did, like, a pose and then do a couple dance moves and another pose. No, every movement of that dance is something Nakamura does in the ring. Like, it blows my mind that they put that together as, like, a dance.
You got to give it to the Japanese. They can do a lot of amazing things. But my actual pop goes to, surprise, NXT.
What?
It was the Samoa Joe match with Kevin Owens. It was only a 3-match episode of NXT, by the way.
Yeah.
Which was ridiculous.
Just, I don't want to interrupt you, but that plays into what you were saying about Finn Balor before, and I was going to say it when you were talking about Balor. The reason why that Balor promo got added, there was another match taped. It got cut out because the guy got knocked silly, and they had to stop the match. Sasha Banks' boyfriend, some guy who's, I guess, an indie wrestler or a guy with very little experience that was training at the Performance Center. His name is like Kazazi or something. I can't remember. It's like a 6 or 7 letter name, starts with a K. He got knocked silly to the point where they had to stop the match. It was the Vaudevillains, and they were fighting him and a tag partner. I think Scott Dawson or something. It was like a crazy thing. So that's why the Balor promo got added.
That makes sense.
Wow.
What'd you love about the match?
You know, I liked that. First off, I liked how it ended. Spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you how it ended. It kind of just ended. They're like, stop the match, because they're just beating the crap out of each other, and they wouldn't stop. And, like, I love that. I love moments like that, because I actually believe that Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens could break away from all those people and come at each other. And I liked seeing because it seemed like Samoa Joe was able to be a bit more aggressive with Kevin Owens in a lot of his spots.
Yeah.
And it looked nice. I didn't like that really fast punch thing he did. That upset me for some reason, because I think The Undertaker does something similar to that, and I like it better when The Undertaker does it, just because it's The Undertaker, and I've been seeing him do it for over a decade. But I liked that Samoa Joe. That made me like Samoa Joe. That made me look forward to more matches with Samoa Joe. And I like that. I like looking forward to things. It makes me want to keep watching. It's great.
Well,
it's
now,
like a good kind of cliffhanger.
Let me be Vince McMahon really quickly here, if I may, and ask you this question this way. What do you think of that match from the point of view of it being two semi-big name, but yet completely out of shape looking gentlemen?
Let's not say out of shape because they train
looking.
so hard.
Out of
let's
shape
say
looking is what
Mick
I meant.
Foley body type.
Right.
I just meant the way they look.
From what I've seen of Samoa Joe, he looks thinner now than I've seen in some of his TNA stuff that I've seen. So that makes me happy. Kevin Owens also looks thinner than even when he started. He looks like he's like kind of like lean, not like, I don't know if he's like losing as much, but he's like toning it down.
Yeah.
And it's like the belly isn't as round as it was when he first started, which is good too.
But I think it plays into what you said about how they just look like two guys that if one of them was hitting on the other's girl at a bar, you would like not want to get anywhere.
Those are the guys that if they were arguing, I'd be like, guys, and I'd be like, just look up, and like we would just all turn and be like, this is gonna be great. It's like, give me another shot. Oh my god.
What did you say about my girl? I didn't say nothing.
Call him a bitch.
Hit him.
What did he say?
What did he say? I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
It's gonna be great, and they're gonna just destroy the bar that we're in at the time. Speaking of which, we should do that. We should go to a bar and instigate a fight. I think that would be fun. And record the process. Hopefully, it sounds very similar to that.
Last time I got into a gang fight, it was with you, Andy. And
It
wasn't
was.
too much
Aw.
fun. So
That wasn't fun. That's because we were in the fight, so that's not fun.
We were victims.
It's more fun to watch than it is to be part of fighting.
Speaking of gang fights, Shane, what's your pop?
I don't know how that.
I
has
hope
to
his pop has something to do with gang fights.
No, not at all. My pop of the week is kind of similar to Andrew's in the fact that it's the same as my chop of the week. My pop of the week goes for the fact that MGK got thrown off a stage and put through a table. And I already talked about it with his no selling, but my pop is the enjoyment of seeing him get thrown and put through a table. So I have nothing to really elaborate on.
Could I give 2 honorable mentions really quickly for Pops? One, Seth Rollins calling out Johnny Manziel, for those who don't know.
Yes.
In the front row, he was telling him, Johnny, nothing here isn't going to give you any championships. LeBron's about to get eliminated, and that was when the Cleveland Cavaliers were still in the finals.
Oh, those poor Cavaliers.
Womp.
Sorry, King James.
Can't just...
That was pretty good.
Exactly.
I like that.
And the other thing I really loved was Joey Mercury completely just owning Seth Rollins backstage when he just told him off that the records will always show you were beaten by me.
Oh, and speaking of honorable mentions for Pops of the Week, I do actually have one, and it's from NXT. Enzo Amore legitimately did the shmoney dance in his match on NXT. I don't know if you caught it or not. It was their match, the 6 intergender match
Tag match
with Alexa Bliss and Carmella. I think it was an exchange between Enzo and Blake, I want to say. I can't really tell the two of them apart with Blake and Murphy. But he threw Blake around, did something, and did a full-blown shmoney dance in honor of Bobby Shmurda.
He's got a bright future, that Enzo.
I
does.
thought you meant Bobby Shmurda, because I was going to say he does
No.
not have a bright future right now.
How you doing?
How you doing?
So I guess that's
You
the
sweet
end.
boys.
That's the
You heard Carmella say that? She called him a sweet boy. She called Blake and Murphy like sweet boys.
It seems like the crowd's starting to turn a little bit and not boo her as
Yeah.
much. They get all their boos out for Eva Marie.
Yeah.
And then for Carmella.
Well, now they have someone more to hate. It's like, well, we
Exactly.
hate you, but we hate her more than we hate you.
I love the Bye Felicia.
Twice. Twice.
You gotta. I still don't get that.
I
I still don't
know.
understand Bye Felicia.
I'm not
What?
hip.
You're not-
So.
Is it just Bye Felicia?
You've never seen Friday? The movie Friday?
Oh, is it from that?
Yeah,
Really?
when
Oh, I thought it was like an internet video thing.
it might be, but I remember it from that. There's a part where it was Ice Cube in that movie, right?
Yeah.
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 And
There's
Chris
a part
Tucker.
where a girl named Felicia comes up, and it's Chris Tucker and Ice Cube on the porch, and she's asking to borrow money, and Chris Tucker says this huge explanation as to why he can't give her his car or something, and then she turns to Ice Cube and goes, Craig, and before she could even say anything, Ice Cube goes, bye, Felicia, and she just leaves.
That kind of does ring a bell. And actually, you know what? For our listeners, that does have to do with wrestling because Zeus from No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan was in Friday.
Oh, my
Ooh,
God.
You just got knocked the fuck out, man! Give me my motherfucking money. Oh, Chris Tucker, I miss him sometimes.
Oh,
I don't.
me
I
too.
don't. I never
Friday,
really-
Chris Tucker, not, you know.
You didn't like Rush Hour?
I've never seen Rush.
Oh,
What?
Rush Hour is
What?
a masterpiece.
That's an American minute right there.
It's amazing. You got Chris Tucker, who is, and then you have Jackie Chan, who's like, why do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yeah.
And he loves the Beach Boys. He loves the fucking Beach Boys.
I can appreciate that.
Oh, you love the Beach Boys.
do.
It's
You
some
would
good
love
stuff.
that movie.
Great stuff at Rush Hour. Chris Tucker also in one of my favorite recent movies, The Silver Linings Playbook. Takes
He
place
was in that, really?
Philadelphia. Yeah.
Wow.
He made a slight comeback to play Bradley Cooper's friend.
I need
But
to see that movie.
We're straying a little bit.
A little bit. Which means I guess we're running low on stuff. So I guess for us here at the Chops
Aw.
and or Pops, it's time to give us a count out of that.
But wait, there's more.
Fuck yeah.
Kicked out
Yeah.
at 2.
False finish. What's up? More to talk about. Little bits. Let's do it. I have some. It's a bigger little bit. What's up? WWE. More importantly, Xavier Woods is launching an online video game channel called Up Up Down Down, which will include some programming such as Up Up Down Down Plays Mondays, a Let's Play style show featuring Woods and other personalities playing today's games. For the Lulz on Wednesdays, Woods and others explore the vast worlds of popular sandbox games like Grand Theft Auto 5, where anything and everything can happen. Jump Scare Fridays, where they delve into horror games and just like scare themselves, I guess. Superstar Save Point, where he invites people and they join him randomly at random points in games and they try to like win, which is awesome. And then Gamer Gauntlet, where it's Woods and some of his friends challenge each other for more than gaming bragging rights, and losers suffering predetermined penalties, like eating shoes.
We can relate to that.
I
Or
know
Andrew
not.
can.
I know not of what you speak.
The proof is in the pudding.
Or shooting. Shooting.
Should the tongue? That's a shoe thing, right?
Xavier Woods, though, is a pretty serious video game player,
His
though.
gamer
And Kofi, too, like
Yeah.
the New Day crew.
Xavier Woods' gamer handle is actually Austin Creed.
That's his real name.
It's good. I like that. I like that. I thought that was clever. I was like, oh, cool, like Stone Cold Steve Austin on like Assassin's Creed. I'm like, oh, that's clever.
No,
that's
that's
good.
his real name. He went by the name Consequences Creed in TNA, based off his real name, Austin Creed.
Was that like an Apollo Creed ripoff?
Yeah, he came
Awesome.
out with like U.S.
Oh,
flag
Awesome.
boxing
That's
shorts.
so much better.
He was
that's-
great in TNA. He was in the X division, and he had some great matches.
Oh, that's so much better.
Hmm.
So what else do we have for this false finishing here?
Dolph Ziggler might leave the WWE.
No.
It's just a rumor, but supposedly his contract ends around September, I think it was, and he seems like he's been upset for a little while now.
I could understand.
And for as amazing as his in-ring work is, he's never really had a break from WWE since being Nikki in the Spirit Squad and making his way up to the main roster. So you know what? Dolph might just
Wow.
kind of have the itch to go to places like PWG and have amazing matches. I don't think he's really like fighting to be a TNA guy. He could probably be really interested in going to Lucha Underground. Actually, that was one of the ways the rumor put it, was that he said, quote, "I'm going to leave like Mundo," meaning John Morrison, and how he went to be Johnny Mundo in Lucha Underground. It would be entertaining for us. I don't know if I'd really be down for calling him Nick Nemeth.
Oh, that's so funny because I have a friend named John Nemeth, and they always
I know
claim to be
John.
cousins.
Oh, he claims to be Dolph's cousin?
I think he is.
Oh, well, we could finally see another match between Alberto Del Rio and
And
Ziggler.
Dolph was actually on Jericho's podcast talking about how great his chemistry was with Del Rio. And about
their matches were brutal.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah.
that match when he came back after the concussion was like,
that's what he talked
Ooh.
about. He talked about it, and it's scary stuff to hear somebody talk about how they dealt with concussion, how he said he had a headache for over a month, how he got scared about it, asked Miz about like how long it's supposed to last. The scariest part to me was he said backstage after he suffered it, he actually suffered another one in a match with Ryback, and he said he was backstage, looked at the call sheet, and saw that this was like the following day or whatever, and saw that he had a match on Superstars, and he was upset about it. And he would look at the call sheet and say, "Oh, Superstars, really?" Look down at his shoes, and then about 10 seconds later, look back at the call sheet and go, "Oh, Superstars, really?"
oh,
And all his friends that were around him thought he was joking and trying to be funny. His brain
Wow.
was really lapsing like that and
Oh,
forgetting
wow.
that he had even said it.
Oh,
That's
wow.
some scary stuff to know
Yeah.
somebody could be affected mentally like that. But that's wrestling.
Man,
you
that
know?
would be awful. This is, like you just pointed out, one of the hardest workers, and he succeeded where a lot of other guys failed, staying in the main event spotlight but never passing the gatekeeper role that so many have failed because of John Cena. I hate you, John Cena.
listen, he's gotten so much better lately. He let people beat him. It happens.
Not
People
Bray
kick,
Wyatt.
People kick out of his AA. it's
People
it's-
hate him for all different reasons. Some people hate him for being that gatekeeper that never gives up that top spot. Some people hate him because they think that he doesn't put over talent the right way. Some people hate him just because they think he does everything right, but then they just hate his character and his whole personality and his gimmick. It's yeah.
just more like there was actually a time not too long ago where Cena was openly endorsing Ziggler and saying like guys like him deserve these title
Right.
shots. Well, now he's about to leave because look at where the title shots have gone. But you know, not that
I
it's
mean,
been
Ziggler's gotten opportunities here and there, but it's just not to that level, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, for us, I think it's kind of a win-win. If he stays,
yeah.
we
get
still
more
get
Ziggler.
Yeah, and
if he leaves, we get more Ziggler.
right, but Ziggler still like not like fallen into obscurity. Like Ziggler on Lucha Underground, I think we all would agree would be amazing, and Ziggler even in PWG would be some great matches. But I just hope that like he doesn't hate it so much that he'll regret it. That even if he goes to PWG or Lucha Underground or even New Japan, which could be a possibility, that like he's thinking all about having these great matches and then like he's not in front of 15,000 people anymore and he regrets making his decision, you know?
Yeah.
But I gotta say, when they book him to kiss Sheamus's arse, I wouldn't want to work for that company either. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah. Speaking of blonde-haired wrestlers,
Hey.
Jeff Jarrett kicked off the tour for Global Force Wrestling for having house shows in baseball stadiums before he does his first TV taping with Global Force.
That one really speaks for itself.
It didn't do too well. 500 people showed up to the first show.
That's wow.
I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not
Who was
great.
some of the names that was on the show?
See, that's the interesting part. The roster's changing a little bit with the different dates of the house show tour, but for that first show, Moose was there. He had a singles match. Chris Masters is getting a new run. They booked Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, who I don't know if you guys are familiar. Well, you should know Trent Beretta. Yeah, he was in the WWE. Who else was on the show that's supposed to...
Do they have any females?
Yes, but they're relying just on two right now, and it's those two women having like the women's match at every house show. It's Thea Trinidad, who was Rosita in TNA. Do you remember her?
I know the name.
She's
seen
actually
her before.
pretty beautiful, and she's starting to learn to wrestle, and she can be great. But it's also, I forget how to pronounce it, Lady Tappa, I think is how you say it. Not a greatly attractive woman that was in TNA, but it's not really me just being a jerk and being like, oh, she's ugly. I never thought there was anything special about her wrestling skill. I didn't think she was a great talker or like had great personality. But that's the two women they're fully investing in. The other main wrestlers, though, for the show, they have the Bullet Club in terms of Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, which Luke Gallows, you remember. So they're great, but they're everywhere. Like, the problem I have is even when they have some great talent that can be booked on these shows, Global Force isn't standing out. Like Moose.
Yeah.
Everything great you're going to see about Moose is in ROH.
Exactly.
Everything great you are going to see about the Bullet Club is going to be in New Japan.
Yeah.
If you want to see Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, just go watch a better indie, like Evolve, or you could see Trent Beretta now in New Japan. Like, it just, nothing stands out to make me think, like, oh, they're going to be a player, you know?
Yeah, I give it until, like, the week after SummerSlam where we go Global Force what?
Yeah, well, I mean, the TV taping is going to be a big determination of how he presents the product. But he did keep the six-sided ring.
Yeah.
Don't know how you feel about that. But
I hate that so hard.
I did, and it kind of finally grew on me with Impact Wrestling, but I just kind of feel like it's like, okay, maybe it was first your idea, but somebody's already doing it, so it's no longer special.
It's not original.
Yeah, so I don't, but whatever. I'm not incredibly excited about Global Force, but we'll see.
Quickly losing excitement.
Other false finish stuff. In terms of indie guys, Johnny Gargano worked a dark match for the NXT TV tapings against Uhaa Nation. He used to have a ton of matches with Uhaa Nation and Evolve and Dragon Gate USA. Johnny Gargano was actually offered a WWE contract over 2 years ago, and he turned it down.
What?
Because he was having a world title, or whatever they call it, the Open the Freedom Gate Championship, their world title in Dragon Gate USA, and he had just won the title, and he thought he served a purpose in Dragon Gate USA, and he didn't want to leave them hanging. And he said he needed more to learn, I think. I don't want to be quoted on that, but I think he said, like, I want more experience before I did. So he stayed with Dragon Gate for 2 years, had a 2-year world title run. It was really great. Had great matches with Ricochet. But yeah, now it looks like NXT is going to give him a shot. And that was Uhaa Nation's first match at a TV taping. So.
With these types of... When a wrestler gets an offer from the WWE, do you think that the E tells them before they sign the contract what their plans would be for their character?
No, not necessarily. I think the WWE is just the only major league to where it's like, well, you don't want it, we don't have to take you. You know what I mean? So it's more the performers want it, the talent wants it. but also for NXT, Drew Gulak, who is an amazing independent wrestler.
Drew Gulak.
Wrestles and Evolve, mainly in CZW, but isn't really a hardcore guy. He's like an old-fashioned British-style wrestler. He stood out at the tryouts that featured like a dozen different indie people, from Gargano to Tommaso Ciampa, who was in ROH. Just a number of indie talents were there, and Drew Gulak is supposedly the one who stood out the most, which I'm happy about. I'm a huge Gulak fan, and seeing Gulak in NXT would be great. We talked about Lucha Underground a little bit, but the thing that they did this week was they had the balls to have an Ironman match on a 1-hour television show.
No way.
So the entire episode was one match.
It's awesome.
And it was fantastic. It was Alberto Del Rio, now known as Alberto El Patron, against Johnny Mundo, which is John Morrison. Or no, I'm lying. I'm sorry. It was Prince Puma. It was Prince Puma, who was Ricochet in a mask. Prince Puma and... No, I'm lying. It was Prince Puma and John Morrison, who was Johnny Mundo. Alberto Del Rio came out and interfered in the last few minutes of the match. That's why I got confused.
So much just happened.
Yeah. So to clarify, it was their world champion, the Lucha Underground champion, Prince Puma, defending his title in an Ironman match against Johnny Mundo. And it was a fantastic match. I'm not going to go into it because you guys didn't see it, but it's worth checking out.
How many pins were there?
It was 4-4 before the match ended, and Prince Puma got the winning pin.
I want to see this.
There was a crazy spot off the top of the stage where they went through 4 tables.
Wow.
Whoa.
A great part that, without like going too much into the match, was Prince Puma was down because actually the score was 4-1. Mundo had gotten 4 pins on him, and Prince only had the 1. So to buy time, because you obviously win the match if you have more pinfalls, and he just wanted the clock to run out, which is interesting psychology for a wrestling match.
Of course.
Johnny Mundo went up to the Spanish band and told them to play a song while the match was going on, and started like, I think he almost like started singing the song before Puma came in and attacked him, and that led to the spot where they went through 4 tables. Really entertaining match.
Oh, that's beautiful. Awesome. That's beautiful.
And some people are even saying it could be a match of the year contender, which I wouldn't argue. 2 last things, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right.
Brock returned.
Brock Lesnar is back.
That happened?
Yes.
And why is Brock Lesnar back?
Well, because he's unstoppable. He's the beast incarnate.
Because he wants... What does he want?
It's not freedom.
It's not freedom.
Seth's head on a stick.
He does.
Basically.
He does. He wants his title back.
Yep.
It belongs to him. It belongs to Brock.
We'll get more into it with the pay-per-view coming up.
What was your favorite part of that, the stare down? Was it Lesnar's... I'm Brock Lesnar, or was it Rollins? Oh, crap, I'm still Seth Rollins.
Brock Lesnar's just a joy to watch. I watched some clips of the SummerSlam match with Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
And I forgot how he like laughed at John Cena. It was like, and that's amazing.
The maniacal laugh.
It's amazing.
Brock has amazing comedic timing.
Yeah.
Like in his matches, the points where he hits a German suplex are funny. Because it's like the guy thinks he has the advantage, or the guy like doesn't know what's coming,
John Cena's
and it
making
just
a
makes
comeback
you want to
up.
laugh.
German
Suplex City! How about that shirt, though? I noticed that it said Suplex City, but it said Cleveland on the sign. Is that going to be like a custom thing everywhere he goes?
I hope so.
Only for Brock.
I would love New Jersey Suplex City.
Right?
That would be great.
Welcome
Oh,
back,
yeah,
bro.
Spoiler alert. If you listen to this and didn't know, we live in New Jersey.
Hey!
I don't think we ever clarified that.
The Garden State.
Yeah. We're not trash at all.
You work in New York and Philadelphia, you sleep here.
I do work in New York, so that's a very true statement.
And I hate to end things on a sad note, but we have one thing left to talk about, and it's kind of depressing.
Oh,
It's
boy.
Bret Hart's comment about Daniel Bryan never wrestling again.
This isn't set in stone.
No,
It's
but
not,
you know,
but
from a guy like Bret Hart, who literally brought up about how like he got kicked in the head by Goldberg, and he's like, that's it, and like
it seems like he might know something that we don't.
Right.
And in terms of that Goldberg kick, if Bryan has the type of concussion Bret had from that, it's not even just the idea that his career being over. It's the idea that there could be worse health problems down the line because Brett suffered a stroke, and we would hate to see Brian go through anything like that.
Yeah.
And if it's that bad and he has the problem with his nerves, maybe it's just at a point now where his body could be in worse shape than Hogan's. You know what I mean? And it's not a matter of age or, what he still... Like, I think the thing that's probably tough for Brian is the idea that he can still think clearly. He still has 2 legs and can walk. You know what I mean? Like, he feels fine, but his body's just in a shape where it can't be put through that sort of thing without there being extreme consequences.
And people like Kurt Angle still wrestle. This is
not for WWE though. That's the thing. Like if Brian left, maybe like somebody would book him. But like if from what I know, like Angle supposedly went through the type of like WWE wouldn't take a guy like Angle.
Absolutely not. But it's just not fair. That's what I mean. It's just not fair.
But I'd rather not see Brian wrestle if he was healthy and happy. I don't want him to have to go through anything terrible. Because he's too nice of a guy for me to wish any ill-doing on him at all, in any regard.
And you know what? To end it on a happy note, since this is what we're ending with, as frustrating as it could be for Brian, for the idea of, like I said, he can think clearly, he can move, like he thinks like, I want to be in the ring, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Headlined not only WrestleMania, but could arguably be considered the best and most important WrestleMania that ever happened. Like, and on top of that, you didn't even just stop there. You still got a second run, like, from January to April of this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even when he thought things were over, he still got, like, that extra 4 months to go out and have some matches, and he had some great matches. So it's like, you accomplished all there is to accomplish, and I'm sure you could create new goals, but, like, it's not a sad story.
No.
You lived your dream, I
still want to see Brock Lesnar fight Daniel Bryan.
We all do.
That's the dream.
But he'd be taken to Suplex City.
It's okay.
Would he survive?
No. No, he wouldn't. I don't want to talk about my theory about that, because that's just Vince McMahon handing Brock Lesnar like $2 million, like, kill Bryan. Just kill him. And it's like, okay. Well, how should I do it? I don't know. Suplex. Kids like that.
I'd do this for free, right? Yeah, but this is the hush money for Heyman. He's standing right next to you.
See, that's a happier note. Let's end on a crazy batshit conspiracy. Let's do that.
That Heyman has received hush money for conspiracies, because I believe it.
Let's do it. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
All right. So that actually is it for us here at Chops and Pops. No swerving this time. I'm Andy. Check me out on social media on Twitter at YDNAGIACCONE. I tweet stuff sometimes. Whatever. Andrew.
This is Andrew. I'm not going to give you any of my social media connections. I mean, info. But please, tune into us every week. Listen, like, click, comment. Just give us the clicks.
Subscribe.
Subscribe as well. Tell everybody you know. Tell everybody you've ever met. Tell your dog. Tell your cat. Tell your mailman. Tell them all.
And since it's Father's Day, do you want to mention your enjoyment in Philadelphia?
It was a very special Father's Day for me. Luckily for me, my favorite baseball team, because largely due in large part to my father, the St. Louis Cardinals, were in town this weekend, coincidentally, to play the Philadelphia Phillies. I got the chance to give him tickets. Me and him went. Unfortunately, they lost, but they won 10-1 last night, 12-4 the other night, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. They're the best team in the league facing the worst team in the league. It's all in good time. I hope everybody out there had a great time with their dads. I certainly did with mine. And, again, keep clicking. Keep on clicking.
Keep clicking.
Andrew's a nice boy.
Isn't he?
Nice boy.
He's such a nice boy.
Oh, shucks.
And I'm Shane. And, yeah, subscribe, because it makes it easier on all of us. You get the episode sent to you without us having to, put it out there. Just you get the alert. It's boom. It's there. We have more subscribers. Everybody wins. So.
Everybody wins.
Tune
That's
in
the
next
American
week.
way.
Yeah.
Tune in next week, please. So, for your Chops and Pops, take it easy, folks.